back to the show, everyone. Thank you very much for staying with us. On set with us, two former cricketers. One still actually plays the game, Rayad Emrit and Imran. Rayad is a assistant coach of the TNT Red Force team. Of course, Imran Jan, senior sports officer at UTT and also coach of Queen's Park Cricket Club, and also did some work with the Cricket West Indies teams in the past as well. Gentlemen, thank you very much for sparing some time early this morning at the Hyatt Regency. Of course, the cricket conference happening, Caricom Cricket Conference. First up, Imran, I want to ask you, what do you think about this entire conversation that will be happening over the next 2 days as it pertains to the solutions that should be coming about for the success of West Indies cricket?
First of all, thanks for having us. I think it's going to be interesting. It's much needed for Caribbean cricket, and more so that Caricom is leading it. So it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the conversations to be had and the topics that will be discussed, most definitely.
Yeah, Rayad Emrit, one of the top all-rounders in the Caribbean over the last 2 decades, I would like to say. Also applies his trade all over the world in T10 cricket and continues to play for Central Sports in Trinidad and Tobago. Rayad, your thoughts on the conference?
Good morning. Thanks for having me as well. I think it's going to be very interesting. The conference is going to be very interesting. There's a lot of things that we on the outside we see that's happening, and we expect things to change. The Caricom is leading this conference, and hopefully we can get something positive coming out of it. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens. I
know both you gentlemen play the game, but Rayad, you still do play the game, and you have played the game at the highest regional level and also internationally. But what would you like to see done for the West Indies team as a player, former player, to be done in order for the continuous success of the game?
I think, you know, it's very basic. The infrastructure in the entire Caribbean needs to change. Basic things like, you know, having proper facilities to train at youth levels, even at club levels. You know, I think the foundation needs to be set better for our cricket to improve, and if we don't have that, I think we're going to struggle for a very long time. Our white ball cricket is in good hands. We see that especially our T20 cricketers is very good hands. But for the longer format, I think, you know, that is where we really breed cricketers, and we need to nurture our 4-day cricket, and we need to have those facilities, this structure put in place.
Imran, the coach of the Queen's Park Cricket Club, and you've also done some work with Cricket West Indies in the past at the developmental stage as well. Do you think enough is being done at the grassroots level as it pertains to not just skills and development of skills, but also talent identification?
Very good question, Sachin. What I have noticed is that we have certain people around the game that, for me, needs to be identified earlier to identify talent at an early age. So we're talking talent ID. Throughout the Caribbean, I think that's something we are plagued with, where we wait until guys get to 19, 20 and then identify them to be a fast bowler or batsman or all-rounder. A lot more has to be done at the grassroots level. Just answering your question directly, with regards to school cricket, community involvement, club cricket, Rayad just spoke about the infrastructure of the cricket. Infrastructure plays an important role with the development, and if we don't have the infrastructure in place throughout the length and breadth of the islands, because you're talking Caribbean cricket, West Indies cricket here, right? We will find ourselves lacking in the final product, which is the world stage West Indies cricket. So yeah, grassroots cricket is very important, and we need to place a little more, in fact, a lot more emphasis on it.
From a university perspective, what is being done to reinvigorate West Indies cricket?
Well, the University of Trinidad and Tobago has a high-performance program that encapsulates 8 sporting disciplines. Cricket is one of them. We have Mr. Anthony Gray as the head coach, who has been doing a very good job. He's been there for quite some time. But what we've had is students come in, play the game, and then they matriculate out of the program. They'll graduate, and then we have to start all over again. So the cycle of the continuity is not there, whereby at club level, Rayad and I, we have players that we could have for a period of time so development can take place. The university will continue to do as much as we can, but as I said, we cannot control the guys leaving university to go for another club because they're looking for their development as it pertains to the highest standard of cricket. For me, I just think we could continue doing some more at the community level and encouraging the youths to get involved in cricket from a university perspective.
Earlier in the show, Johnny Grave, the CEO of Cricket West Indies, mentioned the commitment of the CCC, the Combined Campuses and Colleges, which is the university team. He's hoping that they continue to bring out the great talents that you all have been doing. Rayad, from a player's perspective, when you see fans coming out to view matches and they're cheering you on and blowing their horns and clapping loudly and applause and so on, how does that make you feel to be part of a game?
Yeah, you know, just walking on the field and you know, playing under a full stadium, it's what you want to play as a cricketer. You want to go there and have their support from the fans. And you know, recently our 4-day cricket, you know, I've been part of the coaching staff, and when you're there, you look at the stands, there's nobody there. And, you know, and sometimes it's kind of demoralizing for the players. You know, they're playing at home and there's no support besides sometimes their wives, their girlfriends, their parents, and that's it. You know, if we have 50 people in the stands, you know, it's a lot. But, you know, when the CPL comes around, you know, the Queen's Park Oval is full to capacity, the Brian Lara Cricket Stadium. When you go to the other islands, Guyana, Barbados, St. Kitts, you know, it's full to capacity, and you really feel like you want to be a part of this. So it's something that you look forward to, you know, when the stadiums are full.
Do you think the topic of reinvigorating West Indies cricket, the Caricom Cricket Conference that will take place over the 2 days, do you think it's long overdue?
It is long overdue. As I said before, I hope that, you know, something positive can come out of this. I really hope so. You know, there's the Cricket World Cup in a couple months' time. You know, the Caribbean people are looking forward to this. Hopefully it can put back some life into West Indies cricket. I know the white ball cricket, it's probably covered with the fan base, but you know, most importantly, we need to learn how to play cricket, and I think 4-day cricket is where we learn how to play cricket. You know, if you can master 4-day cricket, then you can play any format.
Imran, a bit of a light moment here. Rayad still plays the game. I'm not too sure if you still play the game, other than maybe white ball cricket on your streets.
Yeah.
But from a coaching perspective, how do you encourage more players to play the longer version of the game, which is what Rayad was alluding to?
Yeah, I've heard Emrit speak about the white ball game is in good hands, and I agree with you 100% here, right? That being said, the red ball cricket, as Rayad just alluded to, again, it's the most important component for any cricketer. It's your baseline, it's your foundation, if you want to call it that. If you look at the best T20 cricketers in the world, they are also in the top 5, 10 of red ball cricket. You talk about Cole, you talk about Keane Williamson, you could talk about quite a few of the bowlers as well that also star. So there are tangibles to be derived by focusing energies on the red ball cricket. For me, getting it into the schools, I've seen some programs here in Trinidad, but a lot more needs to be done. A lot more has to be done from a government perspective. Yeah, at the end of the day, finance and a lot of resources are required. And for that to happen, the government of the day has to appreciate and understand the impact that it could have on the next generation of cricketers. Yeah.
Rayad, assistant coach of the TNT Red Force for the last 2 years, correct? Yeah. Do you think enough is being done at the regional level as it pertains to senior teams, filtering those players into the West Indies team?
I think a lot more could be done. A lot is happening, but a lot more could be done. You know, the guys are very enthusiastic to play for the cricket, but I still think, you know, when we played, the love for the game was a lot more. We never played, we never had the sort of income that they're receiving now. So we played for a lot more pride. You know, when we receive our Trinidad cap, you know, it's something that we cherish. And I could speak for the Red Force team now. You could see that passion is coming back now. I think there's a lovely brotherhood in the team, and everybody keeps looking out for each other. Everybody wants each other to do well. But I still think there's a lot more can be done, especially, you know, if we're a professional setup. There's so much more that the team needs. I know there's always financial issues, and you know, the board needs to find some way to get, you know, a professional organization together, where we have a couple other coaches, we have masseuse on board, physio on board. I know it's a lot, but you know, they need to find somehow to get it done.
Rayad, I want to thank you very much for joining the conversation, as well as Imran, Jan, ladies and gentlemen. We want to thank you very much for joining us in this conversation as well. From 6 a.m. this morning to now, we are happy to have you joining us from the Hyatt Regency. And of course, it is the Caricom Cricket Conference happening over the next 2 days, and I would like you to stay tuned to TTT and also the Caricom platform. We will be bringing to you all that is happening from the Hyatt Regency in Trinidad and Tobago as it pertains to the Caricom Cricket Conference. The Now Morning Show returns tomorrow morning from studio, and we hope that you would join us then with Ayinka and Natasha. Thank you very much for joining us on behalf of the entire production team. Have a great day.